Hello everybody. So here's the answer to today's quiz. So the first question is basically showing you the clinical picture, which is basically multiple small cystic soft swellings on the face and head and neck of a young lady. Now I think clinically the diagnosis is pretty obvious. This is Steatocystoma multiplex. This is a typical clinical presentation of it. There's really no other condition that presents like this unless you're thinking about multiple epidermoid cysts. Right, so what about the histology? Histology basically confirms what the clinical shows. This is no surprise, that's why I said this is a very easy case. So you're seeing on low power itself a relatively large, well circumscribed intraepidermal cystic lesion with sebolemmal type keratinization. Now, in infundibular keratinization, you tend to see a lot of keratin, and that is what you see in an infundibular cyst. But in a steatocystoma, which basically arises from blockage of the sebaceous gland at the duct level, you essentially see the keratin, which is very fine granular, because there's a lot of sebum being produced there, and this is what is basically called sebolemmal keratinization. There is a thin epidermis, which you can see here. You can also see that there is a sebaceous gland here attached to the wall of the cyst that you can see here. Now, this is a typical diagnostic feature of a steatocystoma, where you see a sebaceous gland, or even sometimes you may not see the entire gland, you may see just a remnant of it or a hair follicle attached to the wall of it. This is typical of a steatocystoma. Sometimes you may see vellus hairs within the cyst cavity. Now, some of you have thought this may be an eruptive vellus hair cyst, but in fact, just because you're finding hairs within the lumen of the steatocystoma does not make it an eruptive vellus hair cyst. Now, I will share a link to another talk I've given on acneiform eruptions on the seborrheic areas, and there I've explained in detail the different types of cysts that one may get from blockage of the follicular sebaceous unit at different levels. So just because one may see vellus hairs within the cyst cavity does not mean that this is not a steatocystoma multiplex. This is in fact steatocystoma multiplex, but there are no vellus hairs within this cystic lesion. Okay, this is a typical presentation of steatocystoma multiplex, and most of you have got this answer right. Any further questions that you may have on this particular topic will be answered in the talk that I have given on acneiform eruptions, and I encourage you to watch that if you've not watched that already. Thank you.